Hey everybody, welcome to this game. This is Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross. Really enjoying this game. I think I might start posting some content and some stuff that I figured out. That's really annoying to find. Like, there's generally a lot of YouTubers doing this stuff, so that's fine. I'm just really bored with this whole Corona nonsense, so figure I could share some of the stuff that I figured out that people don't talk specifically enough about in some of the YouTube channels and stuff like that. I'm going to be showing you how to hit 2 to 2.5 million with our gear on the guild boss and optimizing your stats, what the different damages and buffs and all that specifically do in terms of maximizing the amount of multipliers that you have for your output for your damage, and also showing you a few tricks in this guild boss. For one, resistance, Gother's base resistance is 60. So if you just put all 3 defense sets on him, and you don't need to have HP or attack. This is the normal boss. You're going to get most of your points from the normal boss. But if you just put 6 defense pieces on him, and then roll resistance rolls on your substats, maybe a couple defensive rolls, especially if your necklace is an SSR piece, because you don't want to be messing around changing those. Like a couple defense, a couple resistance is fine. But you'll see that the boss has his cards displayed up there. A bronze card, a bronze card, and a silver card. If a bronze card hits my Gother right now, he gets patience, which means he takes no damage, which means this buff starts stacking. The important thing that you need to know about this team combination is there's 3 attack buffs. Gother's passive, Helbram's buff, that buffs all attack related stats, so attack would be one of them. And then Gother's rank up card, once it's gold, gives 20% to all basic stats, which includes attack, obviously. The way that these are calculated, they are all independent of one another. So while they are all buffing attack, the amount of attack that they increase are as good as separate. Well, they technically are all separate modifiers. So if you had a 1.2 patience, see, no damage. Unless he triple hits me with that silver card. Okay, thank God. We're trying to avoid getting hit by a silver card here, that's basically it. And the ultimate skill. He's got 2 silver cards next, so hopefully he's got no love for Gother next turn. What do we got here? This. Ugh, man, is that too greedy? We'll just hope this doesn't crit. And we want to get the gold, 3 golds across, and we want Gother to take no damage for 3 or 4 turns. Whew, if that crit, it totally would have killed. Oh, crap, I don't need Jericho cards now. Don't hit Gother, don't hit Gother. He has a different animation when he uses his skill 2 cards. Like, that's a skill 2 attack. And when he shakes around and spits the poison at you. Alright, it's a bronze card. Alright, so that red attack card is not very strong. So Gother's going to patience that. The ultimate can definitely damage him. And then the bronze card there cannot damage him. So what do we want to do this turn? I don't want to proc Jericho's ultimate yet. Unfortunately, that is like my only option right now. We're going to hit this. We're going to hit this. We're going to hit this. I do not want to... We're going to hit Helbram's ultimate. This is a bad run. I wish I had an extra freeze. This kind of stinks. The boss dies if I hit him with anything from Jericho. The only thing we can do is move one of her cards right now. And we definitely need 2 more Gother cards at the bare minimum. Oh. Okay. Well, this is a kind of a crappy position. Okay. There's 2 ways we can do this. We can use the Gother card to buff the second Gother card, and then that will get ice to rank 2 and give us a second rank 2 card. But I think the better way, because we're going to hope for another Gother card either way, I think the better way is to just buff Gother and then to cast his level 3 so we have that right away. And then I'm going to cast Hubram's level 3 right away. And I'm just going to hope that Hubram dies. And I'm going to move one Jericho card to bring her ultimate in. So we have 2 ultimates going to be coming in, so it's not likely that we're going to get another buff card. But if we do, we kind of have the dream. Because Gother hasn't been attacked yet. Forgot to look at what cards he's going to be using. Oh, we got it. Oh, please don't hit Gother. Please don't hit Gother. Oh my goodness, we have the dream. We have the dream. Okay, let's check this out. So we have 4 Gother stacks right now. I can't believe this is happening while I'm recording. We have 4 Gother stacks. So the one thing to remember, like Jericho has 22,000 attack. It's plus 12,000. She had 10,180 ish attack. 10,181 looks like, something like that. Or something close to that. Bad maths. Right now she's got this 30% to all attack related stats and 20% the attack increase. That is from Gother's card. Gother's passive, which is not a buff, applies a separate stack as a separate modifier. So to get that 12,000 extra attack, I'm actually getting my 10,000 whatever, and you can do the math on your calculator, pull it up on your computer or your phone, and it's actually times that 10,000 whatever times and just do this by 22,232 minus 12,053. There is actually decimals here, so it might be off by 1 or 2, but it should be very, very close to this exact number. Or just divide this by 1.4, by 1.2, by 1.3, and then you'll get that 12,053 subtracted, and you multiply it back again from that 10,000 number, whatever. It's doing that. So what that means is all of these are completely separate modifiers. So even though they're all increasing attack, they're being treated. Oh, we can be so greedy here. The boss is using 3 gray cards next turn, 3 bronze cards next turn. We're gonna go for the dream here. We're gonna wait one more turn. Oh, that's really risky. If Gustav dies next turn, I'm gonna hate my life. What turn are we on anyway? Gother hasn't been attacked, so this is the 5th turn. Oh, I could have the 5th one if he doesn't die. What's my crit rate at? 98%. We might not even crit, to be honest. Oh, this is tense. Okay, Gother buff onto the ice. And man, if Gustav gets attacked 3 times, Hubram can die. We don't need him. His buff is going to last even after he dies. Gother's buff is going to last for, like, they each have 1 more turn. But if Gustav dies, we are so boned. Oh man, this is like the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my entire life. We're going for the dream. 1.5 or bust. I can't believe he's got all bronze cards. This never happens. Don't hit Gustav. Hit Hubram. Kill him. He comes. Oh, he's already used his active unique. Don't hit Gustav. Yes. Hit him again. Gustav won't die even if he hits him. Yes. Okay, we have it. I've got to screenshot this. I can't just. That's pretty insane. Okay. All right. Let's freeze. Get rid of those resist stacks and ultimate. And we'll just hope that we have a crit here for like 2.5, 2.6 million damage. Oh my god, we didn't crit. That sucks so bad. Oh, that is so brutal. 682,000 dry, no crit. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll go into That's just too depressing. I can't believe it didn't crit there. Oh, so much greed and it worked out, and then we didn't get the crit. Okay, well, I'm going to go into my characters, show the equipment, just what you need. Attack food. I'm just going to show you this right now. 9,464 attack is what I have without Gila. So if I take her off as well, and then we just go back, put that food on, at 8,200 attack. Now I have 8,900. Okay. It appears that works as a separate modifier as well. The only difference is, because I went up at like 700 and change, it looks like it's 10% minus costumes. That's what I believe, which means that subtract costumes, this is actually its own modifier as well. It also doesn't apply the 10% to your support that you're putting on, but that is another 10% total overall of her Gila's stats. Gila is wearing my stronger gear. This is the best set that I have currently. It's not too bad. This weapon needs to be re-rolled. It's not good, but it's just anvils. And it's not so bad that I actually care to re-roll it right now. I've got better things to spend the money on. But they're all good. Look, this is basically my best two pieces for attack gear. So she has it, and the attack's the only thing that I give a crap about. You might have noticed she's not wearing the defense piece because I had to take the defense piece off for that set to put it on one of my other characters to make Gother's defense maximized. Yeah, her damage is separate. The attack food appears to be its own modifier, just minus costumes or something like that. So costumes are not getting the benefit of that. They are in battle by the buffs, but effectively the attack food is its own modifier. The reason you want to use attack food is specifically because of this. Even if it wasn't a separate modifier completely, it would still be better than crit damage. If it just added to your attack, you would still have a higher yield with just the attack from the crit damage, because Jericho's got too much crit damage with her doubling effect that the returns, the diminished of the returns, is just tremendous. And the optimal rolls for your gear is actually full attack as well. You want to have only attack rolls on your gear. You do not want to have any crit damage rolls. Some people might be doing a mix. This is completely wrong. If you need some proof, pull up a spreadsheet or a notepad or anything, and this is what I want you to do for your experiment. Say you had one piece of gear that was 100% crit damage, it'd be 30%, 6 times 5 if you had all perfect rolls. The other one would be attack, 3 times 5 is 15. So write 15 on one side and then 30 on the other side. Then double that 30 to 2 to make it 120. Okay? And so 15 and 120 plus, sorry, brain's not working. So 15 and then 120 for the set gear, and then another 30, which is going to be doubled to 60. So it's 180% crit damage versus 15% attack. You're going to have the 60 that's going to be doubled to 120 from the set bonuses no matter what, and putting an attack set in, now you're taking too much crit damage away that it becomes less optimal. So 3 crit damage sets is the optimal amount to maximize the modifiers. So go 3 crit damage sets. And like I said, I'm using our gear for this. And it's not like it's pretty good. It's not nowhere near perfect though. I don't even have this ring at +5. But this is all you need. And so if people are wondering, well, I don't want to invest heavily into crit damage gear for just the guild boss or whatever, like, you don't have to. Like, I'm using our gear and I'm crushing everybody in my guild, and we're top 0%, so this should be fine for you too. But if you just pull up a little sheet, this is all I want you to do. Write 15 times 180 equals what? And then start adding 3% for attack and taking away 12% because you got to double the 6% because it's being doubled by the ultimate crit value with the effect on Jericho's ultimate. So subtract 12 for every crit damage roll you would do, and then add 3 to every attack. So then it would be 18 times 168, and then 21 times 156, and then 24 times 144, and 27 times 132, and then 30 times 120. Well, it starts to diminish, like the difference between 15 times 180 to 18 times 168, and this is just a single calculation in the formula. And no matter how many other multipliers you're going to be adding on top of this, this ratio is not going to change, which means that this is going to be optimal no matter what. Because, especially like we've discussed for attack, all of the different attack benefiting modifiers that we're doing here are acting as separate, unique, individual modifiers that will alter your total damage by that percent of their increase. 10% for the food, 20% for Gother's buff, whatever percent it is going to be for Gother's passive, 30% for Hellbrum's buff. Those are 100% unique modifiers. Even though it's buffing attack, don't think of it as buffs attack. Think of it as multiplies damage by, and then the percent that it says. Because that's exactly what every single one of these is going to do at the end of the day. Where was I? Yeah, so if you do that, you're going to see that it starts to diminish right around 3120, where you just have this straight damage from the crit damage. So that's the 60 times 2 for the 120, and perfect attack rolls on both pieces at 30. That is the optimal value. Even if it was possible to do it one more time, 33 by 108, is less than 30 by 120. So this is literally, it's like the developers knew what they were talking about when they input these numbers into the gear rolls for the sets. This is the best damage you can yield with your rolls. So a lot of people are going to be saying it's different. Now for pierce rate, what you're going to notice with pierce rate is you do a lot more damage with your basic skills. I've found that with your ultimate skill, you always do a tremendous amount less, like hundreds of thousands less. Like 1 or 200,000. Oh, got my screen. I've been talking too long. That's how long I've been talking. It appears that pierce is not a separate modifier, but it is additive. So I would take my 8,000 attack, and then I would multiply that by my pierce rate of 28.5%. So we'd multiply that by 1.285. That would give me some other number, like 13 or 14,000 damage. And then that would be then mitigated by the defense and the resistance of my opponent, and give me some fixed rate damage that adds on top of the skill. I do not believe that it is an actual modifier in the calculation. I don't think at any point in time my damage would go times 1.285. I believed it worked like that initially, but with the hundreds of tests that I've done, I just have not yielded good results with pierce rate. But because it's constant on every skill, regardless of the damage that skill does, it appears, what I find is you do a lot more damage early on to the boss. So it's really hard to keep the boss alive. And then your ultimate doesn't hit as hard anyway. So it's kind of really annoying. But that's all I really want to talk about here. The main thing to take away from this is all you need is straight R gear. Not very expensive to invest in. Roll only attack values on your crit damage set. Because and this will work with any character that has a doubling effect for their crit damage. The most value that they're going to get is always going to be the exact same as this. It's actually worse than what it appears if you just do that straight multiplication that I laid out. Because 30% attack that you can potentially have from these gear rolls are independent. There's no other attack modifiers that I can see unless that we're going to be using here at the very least. That actually are additive to this multiplier. They're all individual multipliers, whereas the crit damage specifically is additive to whatever your current crit damage is, so it doesn't give you an extra crit damage multiplier. It just adds on to your existing crit damage, which is extremely significant to anybody with a grade 6 level math. Anyway, but that 30 is basically your golden zone. And the 120 is actually worse because it's going to be it's going to be added with whatever your base crit damage is, which is going to be quite high. So you should be floating around 250-ish% if you have a couple of her weapons, especially like her baseball bat that you can get from just feeding food into one of her SR versions is quite good. There's a lot of crit damage on it. You probably get 260, I think, with if you got all of the best sets that buffed crit damage. I think you can get around 260.5. I think I'm just missing that baseball bat. I think it gives 6, but I could be wrong. But that's it for Jericho. Now on to the real star of the show, which is this guy right here. The way that you're going to want to build his gear is with 4 defense sets, and instead of rolling defense on your gear, you're going to want to roll resistance. Gother's base resistance, you probably don't know, is 60%. It's obscenely high. So stacking resistance on Gother makes him take like no damage. I don't know how this would translate in PvP, to be honest. I haven't tried it out, but like Gother with blue Lizhawks are like, you're not going to hurt Gother if he's on a team with a blue Lizhawk. Not without like a Jericho ultimate or something. But this is like, this resistance on my necklace is probably not even necessary. I don't even think I need an SSR necklace, because the single bronze card skills don't hit that hard. But I'm not gonna bother making a weaker piece and then rolling this all defense. Well, this is working fine for me just now as well. So that's all I have to say about that. Maybe I should even get, what's my bar at? We'll do 1. Maybe I'm this lucky on when I'm recording. Nope, turns out not. Okay. But like, this is just nothing because I don't want him to do any damage to like as much as I can. He's got HP on here, but he doesn't take damage, so he doesn't really need the HP. And his support unit that I have right now is Merlin. Merlin is one of the highest defenses in the game, like in terms of base defenses. So I just put a bunch of defense gear on her. But it is possible that maybe another character could give more. I'm not sure about that. Like, I think a 70 Merlin might be the best support. Blue Melly is a surprisingly good unit as well if you have him at 10%. Actually, he's at 10%, so maybe he would give more than the Merlin. I should probably check that. I don't think I have any dupes into this. Yeah, we'll try Blue Melly real quick. Maybe I've been doing it all wrong. No, I don't even have the gear on her right now. Oof. That's how little I needed it. Well, then it's just too much work for the purpose of this video. Anyway, check out who's going to give you the most defense possible. Like, I'm sitting around 6,300 defense. I'm sure that anything over 7,000 will be enough. My resistance is base, I think 100 and change, 103.3. And if you have any questions on how the numbers or the modifiers work for the game, leave a comment down below, and I'll see if I know. I'll tell you. I've been doing a lot of tests, and I've had a lot of really good results with what I've done, except for that non-critical there on my golden run. All right, have a good one.